ass.
All right.
Everybody. Look out.
Episode 10, guys. Episode 10.
I'm gonna mark out tonight.
Right, same.
I got that sweet scarf. Oh, it's a beaut.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought this shirt went to waste. I was like, no, but now it's good.
He came back ripped,
right? Mm-hmm. That's probably what he was thinking that time to get that world championship body.
Yeah, something.
But yeah, like
what a weekend! What a weekend!
Right. Mm-hmm. Let's get the boring stuff out of the way. Let's get all the WWE stuff out of the way.
Oh, give us WWE the boring chop to the chat.
I mean, look, did you see the title I gave this episode?
I don't think I did.
I said the one about Clash at the Castle, Worlds Collide, and all chops.
And all the chops. Man, Eddie Kingston tried to chop each other in matches.
Every match that night just had a chop off, and I'm like, okay, I get it.
There was one match each night that stood out without question.
Yes. Oh my God. Let's talk about Clash at the Castle. Now, that was the hardest couple of hours at work that I had. Luckily, we were very busy and giving tours, but it was worth the wait for Clash at the Castle, at least for me, because they had some solid matches. One being, of course, match of the night. But yeah, let's start from the beginning. It was
go ahead.
It was was it Damage Control versus Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Bliss.
Yeah, that was the first match.
Yeah.
Entertaining.
Yeah, definitely.
Fun to watch a lot of those women wrestle.
Yeah. I'm really glad, like, just to see all three of them back, and ring rust doesn't look like it's that big a thing with those three right now, because granted, Io wasn't really gone, she was just taking a little bit of a break, but Dakota and Bayley haven't not really wrestled like on a consistent basis for the better part of for Bayley almost 2 years, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bayley's had a couple of matches now, some solo and match. I think she's looked fantastic.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Her mic skills are still on point. Mm-hmm. They were trying to cheer for her and shit in England, and she's like, "I don't want that. No. That heat. Give me that heat."
I was like, "Yo, it's because she was gone for so long that people are gonna that first time seeing her, they're going to." Want to praise her because she was, or is hands down one of the best women wrestlers in WWE right now. And so people missed having Bayley around because it was, for the longest, it's like Bayley just was always there. So just to have her gone, and, that was her second match in front of a live audience in over...
It was like 300 and some days. I don't think it was quite a year. It wasn't quite a year.
But still, like...
Quality stuff. And
well, actually, maybe longer because, her last match in front of an audience was pre-pandemic. And that was 2020.
It hasn't been that long. She just said something in her promo on Monday where she went to Bianca where she's like, "You've had that title for almost as long as I was gone," or less time than I was gone, but it was
that's when she was gone. But you got to remember, when the pandemic, they weren't wrestling in front of people.
Yeah.
So this is her second match.
We're wrestling in front of like hundreds of monitors. It counts.
I was one of those for a little bit, but I was like, "This is boring." Yep, I was, but I was like, I could never find myself. I don't even remember what episode, but I remember it was just to talk about that a little bit.
You spend
it was hilarious.
Where's Waldo than you do watching the
match. But it was also like, all right, we're going to be bringing out this person next, so get ready to cheer. Here they go, they're coming out, and then we're just It was so funny. I'm like, stop telling me how to react. It was hilarious. Yeah,
WWE brought to you by Chuck Lorre.
right. And like that's how it felt. Like I felt like I was in a studio and the applause sign or the cheer sign came on. It was really interesting. Right. But like for Bayley, her last match was, pre-pandemic.
Okay.
And she didn't make, and WWE has been back in front of fans for a year now. And she was gone that entire time.
All right.
Because I think she got injured shortly before WrestleMania of last year, I think.
Last one, not this one.
Yeah, whichever one was in front of the crowd. No, that was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Something like that. Yeah.
But either way, like it's good to see that she doesn't have that ring rust. But yeah, that was definitely a solid match. I don't even remember which match was next. Wasn't it Judgment Day? No. I was fast forwarding through some of it, so I can't remember the exact order.
I mean, I watched it 5 days ago now, so
yeah.
I mean, I have the things that stuck out in my head about
the next match was probably the match of the night. It was
it was Sheamus and Walter. Whatever his name is.
Walter.
But yeah, that match, oh my God. For anyone who hasn't watched Gunther wrestle in NXT or NXT UK, I guarantee you they were blown away by him as a wrestler.
The physicality. I mean, like,
yes.
moves were great, I suppose, but the back and forth, man, like, I was finishing in the basement trying to watch that shit, and I stopped for, 10 minutes. And I was like, watch this. She's like, I don't care. Like, seriously, these dudes are like punching each other in the fucking neck. It's crazy.
Yes, it was. Oh, that was the best match of the night for me. I was happy to see that they put an Imperium back together. Was not expecting that at all.
Because for some reason, the whitest guy on the roster, and you're going to definitely see all the marks.
Yeah.
What a faction.
But yeah, but I think now we have a solid, because I think there should be a feud between those two factions. Because, you got Pete Dunne, Ridge, and Sheamus. Like, even though Pete Dunne is small, he's just as brutal as the big ones. Like,
yeah, he gets down, man. He was throwing whatever the fuck, like random senton before the and there. I was like, that's a way to go. Didn't see this coming out.
I love this Pete Dunne character only because of the cheesiness that's attached to it. Because on Friday, after his match with whatever the other guy's name is, Ludwig Kaiser. When all three of them were in the ring and Sheamus and Walter were looking at each other, Pete Dunne is steady, like doing his shtick where he's like trying to get, but Sheamus isn't blocking him. So he's trying to wedge himself under Sheamus's arm to make it look like. So like Pete Dunne is committed to the bit, and I love it because he's like, look, if you're not going to hold me back, I'm going to make it look like you holding me back. Now, only one of us is going to come out looking stupid, and that's you, okay? Just hold your arm up a little bit. That's all you got to do. Like, it was hilarious. But, like, I love, like, we know Pete Dunne, well, some people do know Pete Dunne as, the bruiserweight, that hard-hitting, joint-bending, type of, wrestler. But given his, like, I would just want to fight everybody persona attached to it, I feel like it adds to the, who Pete Dunne is just a little bit, because he was laid back down in NXT, but up here, you fighting anybody. He don't care who you are, but you about to get them hands. That's all I know. Speaking of get them hands, Braun Strowman. Anyway,
I don't think Kofi show up. I don't think Kofi ever caught anything in that whole thing. Just random. Everybody, like New Day, I think Xavier went and caught something real small, but all of that Braun Strowman ass whooping, directed elsewhere. That was funny.
I mean,
anyway, sorry, circling back. You can't say shit because like makes me think shit. But we all know somebody in real life that's that like talking shit, and then until time comes time to put them up, they're like, "Yeah, hold me back."
Yeah.
The fuck out of here.
Pete Dunne don't talk. He just like, look,
hold me back.
Ain't no need to fight, man. Let's just throw these hands. That's it. That's all I care about right now. Ain't no talking with Pete Dunne.
Yep.
I love it. And I'm going to keep Pete, because I think they gave him his full name, or they gave like Pete Butch Dunne or something.
I mean,
I feel like I saw that somewhere.
Everybody's getting names. Everybody's getting their names back. Austin's got his name back. He's got some names back.
Tommaso has his name back.
Ciampa got his name back. There's all kinds of first names coming. Like, what's the deal?
Right, but it's all good. Did not like the Liv Morgan Shayna Baszler match was so unbelievable for me. Like, no.
Yep.
No.
I think I painted through most of that match, but yeah, I agree.
Nope.
Piss matches are back on the menu, boys.
What?
Piss break matches are back on the menu, boys.
Like, I like that Liv Morgan won the title, but I don't think she's entertaining enough to be champion.
But then it's like, who do you take it? Who takes it off of her?
Right. Like Shayna would have been like Shayna was entertaining when she was champion down at NXT. Like you hated her, but like she was entertaining. Liv, I'm sorry, but like I love her to death. But she's not entertaining as a champion. Like, it was entertaining you watching you try to get the title. Now that you have it, you're boring.
It's like a Hangman Page situation.
Yeah, like it's and I'm not taking anything away from her ability or anything like that, because I think she's come a long way wrestling wise. Now she just needs that character work that is going to help her to stay on top. Because this whole, I'm a teeny tiny underdog. We got that with Ray. We've got that so many other times, but everybody else has been able to make it work. You need to figure something. She needs to figure something out. I don't know what it is, but she needs to figure something out that's going to make people want to watch her.
She's got to get that badass. She's got to find that internal badass.
Yeah.
Half heel type thing. I mean, but there's 2-3 women in wrestling right now in WWE, or possibly coming back to the WWE. That
they have more.
Easily make a comeback. Ronda's, going to be Ronda. She's always a possibility for that type stuff. I mean, I think I don't want to see it anymore, but nobody's going to be like, no way, Ronda Rousey didn't show up and just whoop that bitch's ass in 4 minutes. I mean, that woman's ass in 4 minutes, but whatever. Like, there's plenty of options to just get it off of her to make some of these matches a little bit more, and if nothing else, keep making her the contender. But yeah, you're right. As a champion, let's see her try to beat up Rhea Ripley. Let's make me believe that she beat Rhea Ripley.
Because I could not believe that you beat Shayna Baszler clean. Like I could not believe it. Not Shayna Baszler.
Hey man, I just want to make sure though it's fake. So I mean,
I get it. But even when Pete Dunne pretends to break somebody's fingers, I still wince when he does it.
Not like you wince when you see that Ronda Rousey armbar.
Nope. Like when she put it on Adam Pearce, I was like, see, this time you twisted the hand just a little bit. But that Adam Pearce promo though, I look, I know he had it in him. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I will say that I was absolutely right about how well, granted, he still did interfere, so I still was kind of right. But I knew Solo Sikoa was going to be coming up real soon. Like, I think anybody who watches NXT or WWE could, see it happening. And it was good. Like, I was wondering, like, so nobody's there with Roman? Like, he's got to cheat to win somehow. How is he going to do that this time?
That's what it gave you that little extra hope that Drew was going to actually catch it this time, man.
And then I'm just like,
it's okay. Kevin Owens is coming. Kevin Owens is going to come clear the decks on that motherfucker.
Which this could lead the way to Sammy being,
a little bit of pocket, backdoor action.
Get kicked out of Bloodline. He teams up with KO, and they get the tag titles. Like, I would love to see that.
All titles are in question, are in jeopardy, from what I hear.
Now all they need to do is bring in Solo, have him get the United States and the Intercontinental title. Don't unify him. Just make him a 2-belt holder.
Drew doesn't need the title. Drew has something better than the title. A duet with Tyson Fury.
That whole thing, I was like, what is this? But then I was like, no. They do this a lot after the show goes off. But they just...
You mean like that American Pie should have been?
Yeah.
I was so confused by a bunch of Brits singing American Pie.
Yeah. I was like...
Is that a thing over there?
One thing I will say, though, Tyson Fury...
He's got a voice.
He does. I was like, hold on now.
Man, the voice is something to behold.
I was like, okay. Like, you surprised me there, but Clash at the Castle was, a good one. Not as good as SummerSlam.
I mean, for free, what do you, I mean, not free. I mean, I pay for the Peacock, obviously, but
yeah.
Six matches?
Yeah, this one was one of their I don't want to call them throwaway shows.
Like mail it in. I mean, all kinds of. I mean,
but this
as long as you put a couple of big people, from there, and then like some big heavy hitters, they got
primarily used to continue storylines. So
into one match, and they filled that house. So I mean, filled it.
Oh yeah, So it was definitely good for as a live event because I'm pretty sure people there were in it. I was scared that whole time watching them.
For what?
Because they had a castle hanging over the ring, and I'm just like, please don't. Please don't. I thought it was CGI. No, they actually built and hung up an LED castle, I believe, above the ring. Now, I could be wrong. If I am, somebody please let me know. But I was stuck on that almost the entire night.
Really?
Like, I couldn't tell if it was real or if it was fake.
Without trying to be too much of an asshole, I feel like above ring suspension security is probably a pretty big deal in that company at this point. You don't want anything to rocket to the ground. We
haven't really tested this with inanimate objects. People, we've tried it and
they fall different.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I was really just stuck on if it was real or not. Like I was like, oh, okay, that's a pretty cool like animation. But then I'm like, every time they zoom out, it's there. I know y'all ain't got the budget to have that up there.
What do you mean? Like it's the same. You watch a football game. There's that thing that's on the 50-yard. Like, look at that.
I used to think that was real when I was a kid. So,
man,
I used to think there was yellow lines on the field.
Back in the 1900s, you didn't have that shit, man.
Now every time I watch a Dallas Cowboys game, every time a kicker hits the scoreboard Videotron or whatever the hell it's called with a football, I'm gonna be afraid it falls now.
Yeah. So Clash at the Castle was pretty good. Not the best, live event ever, but it was pretty good. You guys check out Worlds Collide?
I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, I didn't. Some of the stuff had already been spoiled for me because I wasn't thinking, and I started looking at AEW stuff while watching All Out, and it was giving spoilers for Worlds Collide, and I was gonna watch it Monday. So I'm like, well, I know this happened. So now I just got to watch the matches to.
And the promos. You got to see them promos.
Yeah, so the Carmelo Hayes and Ricochet match was really good. It was just like they were just trying to one-up each other on, athleticism. and it was great. It was great. Carmelo did win though. I think all but what one of the two of the all but two were won by like a UK person. So like Braun Breaker won and united the main titles, and Mandy Rose united the UK, but pretty deadly.
Mandy won, and we got that her take on the Shawn Michaels picture like a day or two later.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, one thing I'm confused about is I don't know why Toxic Attraction helped Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Are they faces now? Like I'm so confused. Like I just don't know why, and they didn't explain anything on Tuesday.
That alternate, like heel face.
Yeah, like yeah,
you just like us because we're bad.
And so I'm just like, I'll take it because it means Kaden and Katana get to keep the titles a little longer. But it was just weird. I guess I just gotta wait to see where it goes with that one. But yeah, Worlds Collide. It pales in comparison to All Out.
That seemed to be where they kind of gave the hometown what they wanted. Like Sheamus didn't get his, McIntyre didn't get his. So at Worlds Collide, they gave a couple of those hometown dudes.
Yeah.
The dubs.
Yeah.
You got to give them something. I mean,
yeah,
it's planned. Otherwise, they're like, "Ha, gotcha, bitch."
And I found it funny because I was watching NXT yesterday, and Damian Kemp who was part of Diamond Mine, revealed himself last week because he turned on Diamond Mine at Worlds Collide. So he was doing his little promo package. He was like, "Yeah, I was the most talked about thing that happened on Sunday," and I'm just like, "No, you weren't.
No, you wouldn't.
You weren't. No, you weren't. Like, hush."
I think more people talk about the Eddie Kingston match in the pre-match in the pregame than was talking about that. But whatever,
right?
Oh,
that was such a good match.
Talking about chopping.
That was AEW's version of Sheamus versus Gunther. Like it really was. Like that was. Oh my god, that match was brutal. They had a lot of good matches in that free hour too. Like
I agree. I thought all the matches were pretty fantastic, except I was halfway confused about the order they put them in. I guess. Yeah, I expected that Pac match to probably be last. That's a title match that you're putting on the air for free. That should be your main event.
Yeah,
even if it's a squash, which it really wasn't. But I mean,
yeah, Kip Sabian. Ooh, like he's good. I never watched him wrestle, so like I didn't know. That I'm getting Al Snow vibes.
I was just gonna say that he was gonna go full Al Snow and head vibe on that shit. That was
I mean, but he Penelope Ford is his wife, so I don't think you have to worry about it. But.
She was. I enjoyed watching her match this evening.
She went against Toni Storm.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like maybe someone that the way that match ended looked like maybe something I don't want to say went awry, but like it seemed like they went to the finish maybe a move or two sooner than everybody was expecting.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it was a fun match to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Really highly entertaining.
For sure. Like
I'm jumping ahead a bunch of days.
No, you're good. But like, yeah, All Out was pretty good.
15 matches?
It was a reasonable time. It was like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that structure was actually pretty good because it felt like every hour had a main event. Like a main event caliber match. It had like one or two like regular matches, and then a main event caliber match. And like I could like count. That's how I knew the hours went by. I was like, oh, we in another hour. That one felt like a main event. I'm not saying like maybe a pay-per-view main event, but like
a title.
I was afraid the Punk match was going to go an hour.
No. Yeah, we were all really excited when they announced at the beginning of the match, like a 20-minute time limit. I was like, this is going to end before midnight? Get out of here, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I don't want more
Sudden death.
wrestling, but sometimes they drag some of those fuckers out. You know, they made some of those matches that we all expected to be like long, squash matches. That Christian match, Christian Jungle Boy match, that squash. I mean,
what is it? What is it? Jack Jungle Boy Perry now?
Yeah, he's always been. I mean, I do like
I know,
that.
but like that's how they're going to address him as now.
They're getting everybody's getting their first names back.
Yeah,
everybody's getting. But Luchasaurus is flip flopping more than like fucking insert politician name here. I think Christian is injured though. Yes, that was the actual.
So maybe that's why they had to turn Lucha again. Because Christian was injured.
Because Christian was like, "Man, I'm not gonna just lose."
Right. He said, I need to make it look like So that does make sense. But I think for me, and it could just be me, but my favorite match of the night was the Acclaim versus Swerve in Our Glory. That match,
scissor me, daddy.
I'm buying that shirt this weekend, but that match, it thoroughly surprised me.
I think it surprised the people in the ring too. I don't think they expected that fucking way that they got behind them.
Oh my!
And they got all that press because they released that T-shirt on like Wednesday or Thursday, and then broke a bunch of T-shirt records with it. And I was like, I was telling everybody I knew, I was like, all right, I got to tell you a whole story about Billy Gunn and his persona as Mr. Ass, to non-wrestling fans even. And now he's got 2 kids, so now he's
the origins of Billy Gunn.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, let me give you a 30-second breakdown of the Billy Gunn story.
And it's just like, all of it was just good. Like that whole entire match. Because at first I was like, it's a basic match. At first I was like, all y'all can bring the heat. Let's turn it up a little bit. And they surely did. To the point where, did you guys see the tweets coming from WWE people?
I was definitely just watching. And
John Cena on Monday, he simply just tweeted a picture of Max Caster with Keith Lee on the shoulders, and I'm just like, yeah,
that match. I mean, we're about to get it again in 2 weeks because I mean, it seems as though it stole the whole night. I was going to comment how you said you thought there was a main event caliber match every hour. I think the main event caliber matches peaked around like the 2-hour mark, though.
This is true, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, watching 2 dudes just slap each other that can't. I mean, not that I'm a fucking mark for spots or anything, but fucking excite me a little bit. Just I don't know. Nothing in that last hour, is that amazing. John
look who it ended with.
I respect
CM
him and
Punk.
I dig him. Him and CM Punk is like, who's the one adding the flash or the fucking flair to this match that's going to make it,
certainly ain't Punk.
Exciting. Exactly.
Now, this is what Seth Rollins said today. He said the amount of top level in the ring content that happens weekly on TV is staggering. Gunther Fella, Roxy Miko, Ricky Mello, KO Theory, Roman Drew, Acclaim Swerve. It's unreal. Appreciate that shit. So even Seth freaking Rollins pulled out of all the matches, out of All Out.
That was the one.
The one with the Acclaimed. That really does speak to how far the Acclaim have come. Because when I first heard about him, I was like, who are these John Cena wannabes? And then I saw him wrestle at Warrior Wrestling 19, and I was like, I love the Acclaim.
Does the Acclaim get the same pop in the South?
I don't know.
I mean, not race thing by any means either.
No. I know what you mean.
Not Max, but yeah, I mean that's like a double on some people, and they tend to reside in a way of the country, as it were. I'd say I think where they are in the country, like swerved some of this shit for them a little bit, especially in Chicago. I think.
Yeah, but
like, I don't think they get that same them pop.
I don't think though in like the last, I want to say the majority of this year, ever since Andrew Bowen came back when I was in Detroit, like the Acclaimed has been on fire in like every week.
I made everybody shut the front door when they were coming out. I was like, I want to hear what this motherfucker has to say. Like, this is pretty much half the. This is worth $5 that I paid to fucking watch this thing.
Right, and it's like everybody cares. Like people actually care what he's going to, because he's clever with it. Like he's, except for that one time when it got him suspended, but still
the OG AEW suspension.
Right, like I was like, okay, and that was why I was like, you know what? They're gonna diss my girl Sasha like that. I ain't listening to the man. I ain't messing with the Acclaim. Saw him at Warrior Wrestling, and I'm like, okay.
I'm glad they got rid of the boombox. I don't think we needed that anymore.
Nope, he still has it.
I mean, maybe he has it, but he hasn't been using it for the last couple.
No, he hasn't.
So
I think this was the first time I saw him with it.
I was going to say, it makes me think of, like, I don't remember who it was that made it, but there was this, like, tube, same type of thing, but back in the fucking 1900s that took 1,700 D batteries to get it to power up, but it came with a bunch of action figures back in the day. And whenever he came out with it, I was like, dude, this is the boom tube.
Right, yeah.
It was called back then. But anyways.
But yeah, I haven't seen him use it in a while, but this... Right now, the Acclaimed is one of the
Acclaimed
top people
have arrived
right now.
I believe.
Yes,
at this point. I think
they are not wrong when they say everybody loves the Acclaimed.
It seems that way.
After Sunday, after John Cena, and just Seth Rollins alone, even acknowledging that.
I mean, John, I suppose as an active person, but I'm like, John Cena,
yeah, that
touches more people. I don't know how many followers he's got, but it's in the.
But no, I just mean as like in the rare times that people from WWE mention people from AEW, it's always been positive. Like if it's the rest, ever since Vince left, we've been seeing people in WWE praising and celebrating.
The Clique is running wrestling right now, and they've been high-fiving each other across networks for fucking years. So I mean, I would imagine Triple H is on the same board of like, cool, let them be another AAA, farm system of sorts, and we'll lose them back and forth. Good, we need that.
Like Triple H is down for the war. Like he's been through it.
But I don't think he wants the war.
No, he does.
Yeah, they're not fighting on Monday.
No.
He likes.
They're like, y'all doing good stuff. We're doing good stuff. That's all that matters.
Wrestling is in a good place. That's fantastic.
It really is.
We're calling local medical facilities hospitals. We've come a long way with Triple H in charge.
And then Triple H tweeted one word over the weekend: wrestling. Because that's a banned. That was a banned word in WWE. Where is it at? Come on now. Thank you. It was all out of place. Trying to make me look like alfalfa. What happened?
He needs to go further back. Just post it as wrestling.
Wrestling. Yep.
I mean, it was what a great weekend. But can we go to the post after? I hear like the post pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I mean, I know there's shit to talk about in that pay-per-view. That She-Hulk, I got to throw a shout out to that for sure.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's second only to the Jade Mortal Kombat costume.
For me, look, I will always choose Marvel over Mortal Kombat. I will always.
It's not about the character. It's about
something.
Her name's fucking Jade, bro.
And then also, it was something about that long hair too. It was the long hair. I'm a sucker for long hair. That alone.
Everybody's got a thing. I can't argue with any of it.
And plus, She-Hulk was just twerking on the show last week. So, look, She-Hulk's in a good place right now, too.
Disney Plus Day is coming up just next week, guys.
Right? No, this weekend.
Yep.
He's like, yeah.
I knew somebody talked about it. I thought I was being topical. I definitely
mean,
have the actual stats behind it.
Let me know.
Technically, Sunday is next week, so.
Dude, Hocus Pocus 2 is coming out shortly.
Yep. Pinocchio comes out tomorrow.
So Jade's going to dress up as Pinocchio, and she's going to dress up as Bette Midler on top of that in a few weeks.
I mean, you got to get that crossover.
You got all three. You got all three, so you can do it. Halloween is coming up.
I think we really
can do it.
We need a CGI
Please
for
do it.
Parker, but that's beside the point.
Either Jade Cargill and the baddies do it, or Damage Control does it. I'm just trying to see somebody as Bette Midler. Look, Bailey or Jade. That's all I need. Also,
who do you want to see him dressed as?
The characters from Hocus Pocus for Halloween.
I think we might be able to pull a few of them if we got who were the chicks that just fought for the tag titles from NXT? I don't want to mess with but almost superhero.
Oh yeah, Nikki ASH and Dewdrop.
Yeah, those
Nikki
two. I mean,
Niven.
that's two costumes right there. Bing bing. We just got to get somebody else with them. I don't know who that person is. But
I don't either, but yeah.
One of them is Bette Midler, and one of them is, I know her name, but I'm not going to pretend like I know her name.
Peggy Hill?
Nah, Kathy and Jimmy.
Either you can either go with Peggy Hill or the nun, one of the nuns from Sister Act.
Yeah, that works. I mean, one of the nuns with the most soul from Sister Act, honestly.
Right, yeah. But yeah, AEW is going through something right now. I have been saying this for the longest. CM Punk is overrated. CM Punk right now is bad for business. I'm sorry. CM Punk might be a name, but I'm gonna give you guys this analogy, and that I feel like perfectly sums up this whole situation. CM Punk is David Ruffin. CM Punk is David Ruffin. AEW is the Temptations. No one is bigger than the group. Look what happened to David Ruffin when he tried to be bigger than the group. He kicked him out.
You gotta dance back to that microphone, motherfucker.
And as you can see, Temptations had no problem replacing David Ruffin.
I got one.
AEW would have no problem replacing CM Punk.
The CM Punk triumph, the pinnacle. It was like telling your kids you were going to take them to Disney World, and then driving around town until you found a place that had burnt down and telling them Disney World burnt down. It was terrible. It was It was so out of the blue. Like
that was actually the remnants of Nickelodeon Studios.
Like I really just like
fuck around.
I did not care that CM Punk came back last year. I'm like, I don't care unless you're going to do something different from your time in WWE. I don't care.
It was exactly the same almost,
but
it's literally the same.
The entire time they spent the entire week. The whole company had shows like in Chicago, so it was basically one big wank fest for CM Punk.
Yes.
No matter what,
his first $1 million geek.
And I'm pretty sure that $1 million they were selling that. They were selling that. Remember, they were selling them tickets like as a bundle with the other two shows. So I guarantee there was some people that just they was like, oh well, if we get all three, it might be a little bit cheap. No. You ain't slick, Tony Khan. You probably made $1 million over the whole weekend. Don't play no games.
Are we calling Wednesday part of the weekend?
Yeah.
Well, shit. That's a long ass weekend. Let me get that weekend.
I call in a lot every day.
Whatever show was in Chicago that weekend. That I'm pretty sure they all contributed because wasn't it all in the same arena? Or were they in different locations?
No, they were out in like Franklin Heights or something shit like that.
But still,
whatever.
And that's not
still
even
like they
It's a
sold them
bullshit.
together as a package. That's the word I was looking for.
package.
So,
Either way,
Like
with
a
all this
total
going on,
package?
I think they're going to
Like
shy
a
away from
total
Chicago
package?
for a while.
oh yeah, they're gonna have to next save Chicago for like All Out or whatever.
Unless the crowd can start
Yeah.
chanting Cole, Cole, Cole or something like that.
Because one, nobody asked him about Colt Cabana.
What the fuck did that have to do with anything? Like
Nobody asked him about Colt Cabana. He literally was just like, man, fuck Colt Cabana. Man, I used to think of him as a friend, but then I realized, he wasn't this. And then, he had his mama doing stuff too. And blah. I was like,
All I'm,
his mama's fake.
who asked?
all I'm gonna say right now is Ace Steel, if you're listening right now, if Punk tells you he's gonna cover your lawyer fees, don't listen to him.
Right. Who
He's coming for your mama.
asked? Nobody asked about Colt Cabana. No one.
And I get where you're
CM
going for
Punk
when you
drug
mentioned
him through
his
the
mom.
mud again.
And I know I understand where he kind of was going for when he brought up his mom's and them saying they share a bank account, because I guess the whole thing was trying to show that Colt was like low on money or whatever, and he was trying to say like, oh, they actually are sharing an account and there's where it all goes. I'm like, yeah, but you brought somebody's mom into it and you came off. There's no way to do that without coming off as a complete dick.
Yeah, like
talk about my mama.
And then I've talked to other people and then they tried to explain like, okay, well, this from CM Punk's point of view, and I'm just like, dude. Regardless of how Punk feels, there's a better way to handle situations. And then there were reports coming out that, when the Young Bucks went to CM Punk's door, they kicked in his door.
Hey, super
Didn't you literally just tell people?
Do they slap their thigh when they kick the door?
Come speak to me about it. And then right after you say that, allegedly, you go to your locker room and then lock the door. That means you don't want the smoke, okay? You didn't want the smoke if you went and locked your door, allegedly. I don't know what happened because there are conflicting reports all around.
Not really.
As far as what really like.
So most
at least with the door kick that's being tossed around. We don't know if that is actually true.
If they
everything else
the door down, you're right. We
right.
haven't heard about that. If they slap their leg when they do
right. But as far as like whether the EVP said or did what you said they did, you came into their house and tried to make it about you
and burn that motherfucker down in one press conference.
How do you go into? There is a reason why Eddie Kingston went off script when dealing with you. There is a reason Hangman Adam Page went off script. There's a reason MJF went off script. There's a reason they all said what they said.
And out of all of those, I feel like Hangman's was probably the most tamest. Just like
right.
They did say something, and they went nuclear on him.
Well, Hangman went off script, so that really offended me, and now I'm in a funk about it for the last 4, 5, 6 months, dude.
And I'm gonna make him look like a bitch in front of a live audience,
right?
In a place where he can't do shit about it. And we talked about it when it happened. Like that was a bitch mark ass fucking.
I don't care what happened to you in WWE because we dealt with that. That shit is over.
It's not. It's brand new again.
Apparently, but get over it.
He gone.
And like, I get that they hurt you. Get over it. Because all you did was drag that negative energy into AEW where they had 2 years of being controversy free. But then your happy ass walked through the door. And next thing you know is controversy after controversy after controversy. CM Punk, you are bad luck for AEW right now.
For everything, it would seem like.
I don't care what anybody says. No one can change my mind because once he set foot into AEW,
the numbers went up.
The numbers may have gone up, but the morale and the people behind the scenes,
The beatings,
all of that was going down. It don't matter. Look, again, David Ruffin was the one that was helping to make the hits for the Temptations. Once David Ruffin joined the group, their stock went up. But it was still the group. And the group was there before you got there. And it was there long after you left because the Temptations is going strong after 60 years.
I think Mox
on tour right now.
I think Mox did a pretty fucking badass State of the Union. I mean, I don't know what you want to give that little hype show. He got caught up a few times, but for the fucking ideas that he was trying to throw together and sentences and stuff, like the 2 times he got caught up, didn't even seem that bad. You're like, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that makes me feel
like
that
everybody
passion.
that is still there and is doing, the damn thing is there's a cat. There's a cat.
Yeah, don't mind him.
Hey, he's got the MJF
fellas. But like everybody that's back there has got to have, Dustin and that everybody like, all right, this is where we're at. Is Kenny or the Bucks coming back or any of those motherfuckers? Well, but here we are, and we still have this airtime to put on this fucking show. And I have faith. If MJF, even if we only get MJF for the next 2 years, like I will take those 2 years in AEW, and he better have the title for at least 365 days of those years. Give him the belt. He needs to win the belt clean. This is my thought. When MJF gets a shot, he needs to win the belt clean against a solid fucking opponent or a couple if they're going to go 4-way. But then after that, straight heel. All heel. All those dudes that helped him win the ladder match and shit. Then you got to heel it out. But every time he does a promo, he's bringing it up. I beat, John Moxley, Chris Jericho, and Bryan Danielson in one match. Me, clean, in the middle of the ring. And, that's just goes and rides for as long as you want it to.
Yeah, because AEW doesn't need CM Punk right now, and I'm not taking anything from CM Punk's legacy, from anything he's done in the past. I'm taking away from his present.
I am. I'm taking away from all of it. I think all of it is bullshit personally.
For the most part, yes, but like right now, you are in your worst possible state.
You mean Punk or AEW?
Punk.
Okay.
Punk.
There's this group. They're called a cult by some people that follow.
You mean the cult of personality?
No. I mean the other cult. I mean the other.
I mean their leader. The leader did speak, and he did kind of die. You could argue.
No, the other cults on the wrestling internet, they follow this little sunglass wearing tennis racket, carrying motherfucker, and they will. I swear to God, I don't know if they're marking out for CM Punk so much as like they refuse to have any respect or love for any of the members of the elite. Kenny Omega's a fucking, is worthless. The Young Bucks are just a spot fest. Blah 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 blah.
Pro Wrestling died in 1998.
But following those dudes in the comments is just, I don't know, like that feels like poisonous to wrestling to me. Like, who doesn't want the growth? Who doesn't want the youth and the growth and the push? If the 5 best tag teams in wrestling are divided into 2 or 3 wrestling promotions that we all kind of watch, I think that's a fucking great thing. Like, give me 7 days a week of that wrestling. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, and I honestly just feel like, especially in today's society, people get tunnel vision when it comes to what they like. I literally on Twitter today had to silence topics that kept popping up because for some reason, PlayStation people and Xbox people are having a dick measuring contest to see which is better. Like, I don't care. Just play the games. It's the same thing with wrestling. Stop trying to say AEW this. Watch it all. Experience it all. Because I'm telling you,
The Switch is
I had
better
that
anyway.
mindset. You can't play 2K20 though, or 2K19, whichever one.
Whichever one. I mean,
But enjoy what you have in front of you, because one thing I regret of not watching anything in AEW was everything involving Brody Lee. The only time I watched AEW when it involved Brody Lee was his the tribute show. That was the only time.
No live Brody.
No live Brody.
Literally
none. After he left, I was like, "Oh, he went over to AEW."
Leave, bro.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, whether he was let go or left of his own volition,
sure,
he was gone.
Yeah,
and I was just like, I didn't follow. I think I won't say that, because I think the only other time I watched AEW was the night, because I think him and Matt Hardy debuted on the same night, I believe. And I was watching
Matt Hardy's draw for you still.
I just wanted to see what he was doing over there, but then I saw it and I was like, eh.
Don't make excuses, man.
No.
The original Man to take a chair to the head, Man Hardy.
I still swear that dude's hip and butt cheek has to be blown out from all those off the top leg drops. Ridiculous. Continue.
But yeah, so and experience all the wrestling you can, because anything can happen. And I just hate seeing people who are, oh well, blah 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 this, and if this happens, I'm going to stop watching. And then that, okay, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But then don't sit there and complain about it.
Do we give it the pizza treatment? Even bad pizza still fucking pizza. Like, I'm hungry. Yeah, I'll eat it.
Right.
Like, it's wrestling. Shit.
No one has ever turned down pizza.
You could be watching Law and Order reruns. Shit.
No one has ever turned down pizza. Like, anybody ever walks up, hey, you want a slice of pizza?
Whoa.
Some random person on the street ever?
No. I mean, if you were in that situation, like,
he's got you want a pizza?
No, but I'm saying, like, if people are like, hey, you want to go get some pizza? You're like, yeah. Like, you don't ask where. You just say, yeah.
I don't know about that. Depends on the day of week sometimes.
As long as it ain't Domino's.
Why you, dude? Avoid the noise, bro. I don't know. I'm not trying to stand up for Domino's pizza.
Yeah, but it's just like, it shouldn't matter where it is, and if you don't like it, you don't have to talk about it. Why are you spending so much? Right, you spending so much time looking for a reason to hate something that you're not even enjoying what's in front of you.
And that's what made Malachi Black get so sad.
Right? Look. I think he's gone.
I mean, probably, but he can't come back to wrestling for like a while, like a year or some shit. I think I've seen. Like, he was granted his release, and in terms of release, I didn't see a date, but it said a lot. Well, like, I don't know, it capitalized while, whatever the fuck that meant. But it seemed.
Either way, he going back to where his boo thing works. So more than likely. That's what happened with Braun Strowman. You see Raquel walk out with that big old smile on Monday after Braun Strowman left. She came out, biggest grin on her face, like, my man back. Like, that was too funny for me. I love it.
Back. That's fantastic.
I'm just like, yeah. I'm glad they're about to lose those titles though, because they shouldn't have won them in the first place. Oversight. Pinned the wrong person.
What's MJF going to do? So they're going to have this tournament for the next 2 weeks until it ends at Arthur Ashe. What are they calling it? Tennis Aces? U.S. Open for wrestling? What is it called again? Whatever it is.
If I know MJF...
Go out here and talk shit every week. Did you just pull your chair apart?
No, it's like I got some foam on the edge of
a tennis racket or something.
My
Speaking of Jim Cornette.
My desk. But if I know MJF, he's gonna toy with it for a while.
I mean,
he's gonna toy with it.
Is the chip like? I mean, I know it's their version of the Money in the Bank, but I think it's more of like a planned out process. Like, than it is you just show up after the final of that match at
I mean, the thought of him carrying around a big ass poker chip randomly is more funnier than a suitcase.
He's got a whole clique behind him now. One of those motherfuckers.
Look,
it's the new pinnacle.
He has the prime opportunity to walk around saying that he has a chip on his shoulder. I'm just saying. If anybody can make it work, it's MJF. He can definitely make that work.
I agree.
Like, that's perfect. But this Stokely had he just up and left Jade. No explanation.
No, Jade gave him the boot one of these last Fridays in the last month. She was she said some shit. I thought it was made official, but I think it made TV when the split kind of.
I must have missed it.
Fast forward button's a bitch sometimes.
No, sometimes I just be on my phone if it's for certain things. If it's not gonna be a boring match, I'm like, I'll listen. I might not watch it, but I'll listen.
Boring matches. That's how you get Raw down to an hour and a half.
No, I watch when it come to some stuff whenever there's a backstage segment, I pay attention at this point because they telling stories in the background. I need to get all my bits because if not, I'm gonna be confused. Also, can we just talk about how great Dexter Lumis is?
That was a great little camera shot they did with the flying squirrel over when Miz did the damn thing.
Because I'm like, Dexter Lumis is waiting because Miz could have easily walked out the door. He could have easily walked out of that door. But Dexter Lumis, the way he was just laying there, yeah. Then he went in the ring, put him in that little chokehold, and then started rubbing his head after he passed out. I need to see what happened next week, man. And we also get Johnny Gargano in the match next week too.
And now we also got.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say we also now have Dominic Mysterio looking like mid late 90s Eddie Guerrero.
Right?
That's totally Eddie's kid.
You mean Dominic Guerrero, but anyway.
Yeah. That's gonna be weird. Oh no, there's an echo.
I think if they're gonna do this whole thing where he joins and it seems like Rhea's running shit, she needs to be straight Dom.
But Dom is down.
Man.
She's gonna Dom. Dom. Some shit, corny shit like that.
And that needs to be their interest music.
You were saying it like it was the Tums music.
Yeah, that was what I was.
Dum.
I think that might actually be a different musical number or measure that the Tums people took over, but
But yeah,
but that would be. I mean, that's he seems, I don't want to say hesitant, but he's not all in, trying to beat his dad's ass or anything like that. But I think that Rhea Ripley angle could be funny. Get Dom.
I think out of everybody in that group, Dom benefits the most from being in that group.
I think Malachi Black is going to benefit the most from being in it. And
he will. He's going to be the new leader.
In 6 to 9
and they're going to kick Finn out.
No, Baylor can be a backup.
You know what needs to happen?
Uh-oh.
If Bray Wyatt comes back.
I think it seems more when, but
we'll see. Because they got Strowman. I did hear somebody say, Wyatt family. So with Redbeard, Eric, and Bray against Judgment Day. But one of those matches has to have the Demon Finn Balor.
Yeah, for sure.
We never got the Fiend versus the Demon. The Demon showed up after the Fiend left. With who match was he in with Drew McIntyre? When the ring just randomly exploded?
It's not the wackiest thing that's happened to a WWE ring, even in the last.
This is also true. Also, I wanted to make this observation before we ended it today. I just realized that the pyro is vastly different for each show, and AEW's pyro It's like the stuff you get off the like the little street vendor. You like the little sparklers and then the little
Just the wish
pops.
bottle.
Right. But then WWE got like the 4th of July, like
Mhm.
where the city does the big extravagant pyro. Like that's how WWE's pyro is.
AEW just used the leftover pyro that
Yeah.
my neighbors behind me fire off randomly at night.
I mean,
they'd be like pop, 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 pop. Like, look, that's not doing nothing.
You know what that is?
Flying
Remember,
down.
that's the difference between the intros on WCW versus NWO Revenge.
Uh-huh.
When they give that, that pop moment or whatever it may be, and then 2K22 type fucking entrances type stuff. It's like one or the other. I mean, AEW seems to rely a lot on fire because that doesn't require so much explosive as much, it's little fuel you throw into the air type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
As long as it doesn't involve a ring exploding or Eddie Kingston with a gas tank, everything's all good.
I thought he was going to start the ring on fire that week. I don't know.
But yeah. Another show in the can. Episode 10. This was great.
Terry, if you watching, man. I mean, not that we don't love Ferris, but
right.
We're missing our third dude, brother.
Yeah.
Ferris on the background. He's going to be the one throwing the pictures up over my face, I think. Something.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But it's been great. See y'all next week.
Mm-hmm. AEW.
Enjoy wrestling.
AEW.
Good.